Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, grooming, and sometimes hair, so if that sounds like your thing, make sure you are subscribed. Also, come and follow me on Instagram where I post a lot of stuff you're not going to see here on YouTube. Today, I want to talk to you about post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or most commonly known as dark spots. Specifically, this one on my cheek just here, which I've managed to actually fade quite quickly within the last 2 and a bit weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. It usually takes me months to fade a dark spot, especially one that was this aggravated. But I feel like I've really cracked down how to speed up the healing and fading process, so I want to share that with you today. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my journey with this dark spot. It was a really painful under the skin spot, you know, those ones that hurt. It was on my cheeks and it hurt to smile and talk. Okay, so I actually just wanted to show you one of these horrible under the skin spots that I'm getting, and this is how they always show up. It's always like a round circle. It feels very hard. I always get like a huge pore on it for some reason as well. Okay, I'm just coming back here because this thing is getting worse. It's painful, it has a heartbeat, it looks like I got cheek filler. It's really quite aggressive. This is what I mean by I still get spots, and when I get them, they're painful. And I didn't pick it at first, and then it white-headed, and I was like, right, I'm gonna pick this now, it's ready. It was not ready. I don't think it's ever ready to pick, but I obviously aggravated it even more so. So once my skin had healed and it wasn't so much as an open wound anymore, and it was what I consider the beginning of the dark spot, that's when I started to do this routine and use these ingredients. So before I get into what I've been using, let's talk about post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. I'm gonna call it dark spots from now on because that's long. Post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or PIH, occurs, as the name suggests, after an injury or inflammation on the skin. This triggers melanin-producing cells, of whose name I can't pronounce, to release excess pigment, leading to darkening of the injured or inflamed skin. And this can remain on the skin anything from 3 to 24 months, so 3 months to 2 years basically. But that also depends on a few factors like skin color and the type of injury and inflammation that was on your skin. The most common type of inflammation we will probably see is that of a picked spot. Sometimes spots leave a dark spot as well, even if you haven't picked it. I've got a cut on my nose here where my puppy accidentally clawed my face, and that will probably leave a dark spot as well. And that's obviously because a spot is inflamed skin. When we pick it, we inflame it and irritate it even further. This often leaves dark flat spots on our skin, and they're usually like a light grey to a dark grey to a bluey grey to a dark brown even, and even sometimes red. My one started off red, and I feel like once the skin properly healed, it's gone to more of this dark grey. Dark spots aren't dangerous. They're not something you need to get rid of. They're not something that needs a cure. They're preventable, kind of. They don't need fixing, and they will go away on their own. It's purely the cosmetic reason why you want to get rid of them. However, if like me, you've picked a nasty spot and you don't really think a dark spot on your face like this suits you, or your job relies on your skin being half decent, there are ways we can speed up this healing process. You can, of course, go to a dermatologist and get a chemical peel. You could do laser treatments as well. I had a mild chemical peel before and it was really good. I had a dark spot on the end of my nose and it helped with that massively. However, who has the money for that? Not me. So before we get into exactly what I've been doing, I just want to mention that patience is key here. So after it fully healed and left me with a dark spot, even though I'm fading this quite fast, I expect this to be around till early 2020, it's going to be hanging around here. It's a real process that you need patience with. It's good practice to, you know, work out what you can actually do to get rid of your dark spots, what suits your skin. So when it happens next time, hopefully it won't, but when it happens next time, you know exactly what you're going to do and exactly what you're going to use. And you know, it's not part of you. It's not there forever. It will go. So we do have to have a bit of patience. Okay, so let's talk about the products and exactly what I've been doing to help fade this dark spot within pretty much 2 and a bit weeks. I will be talking about products, but I want you to focus on the ingredients because that's how I pick these products, and not to do with the brand that they're from, although I am enjoying these products. And remember, just because it works for me, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But I have picked these products because of the ingredients that is known to help lighten dark spots and brighten skin tone. So when it comes to cleansers and toners, I use my normal cleansers, ones that aren't going to strip my skin. I feel like well-hydrated skin really helps diminish the appearance of a dark spot, because when your skin is looking like glowy and shiny, the light just kind of bounces off it, you see? It just kind of like So yeah, whatever cleanser you're using, stick with it if it works for you. When it comes to the toner stage, I use toners purely for hydrating reasons. I don't use them for anything other than that. Like, I don't think it's going to do much more than that, unless you have a toner that's specifically made to even out your skin tone and help lighten dark spots. So this one, I've shared this before. This is the niacinamide brightening toner from Good Molecules. This is a brightening toner that contains niacinamide. Now, niacinamide is the one ingredient that isn't really known for being the best to help with fading dark spots, but is one that's really worked for my skin when it comes to dark spots, redness, and even reducing the appearance of large pores. Niacinamide is my go-to for discoloration of any type. But also this has a vitamin C and arbutin in it. Both known for its amazing ability to help lighten dark spots and give you an overall brighter skin tone. I think that does help is concentrating on the rest of your skin as well and not just focusing on that dark spot area. But vitamin C in particular is known to help darken with dark spots. But vitamin C in particular is known to help with dark spots and also help prevent dark spots as well. It kind of supercharges your sunscreen, so it's a good one to use on a daily basis. I don't, and I don't know why, but that's why I like this toner, because I get my vitamin C in here. So AHAs are a must for me when it comes to discoloration. I think we all know what AHAs do by now and how they work, but they primarily work on the surface of your skin. Alpha hydroxy acids are water soluble, so they're not able to penetrate as deep into the skin as, say, a BHA, but that's perfect because they exfoliate the top layers of your skin. They exfoliate concentrating on that top layer of skin to help reveal healthier skin underneath, so over time fading that dark spot. And they also keep your skin hydrated as well. And as with everything we're using here, I did mention treating dark spot, fading dark spot does take time, but these products, especially the AHAs, are going to help speed that up quicker. So whether I have dark spots, I do tend to use AHAs and BHAs once or twice a week. AHAs don't play so nicely with some key ingredients that help fade dark spots as well. And if you're going through a phase of sensitive skin like I am now, AHAs may not be the one for you. But that is where PHAs come in, polyhydroxy acids. Now, PHAs work exclusively on the top layer of skin. They don't penetrate the skin. And they work really well alongside a lot of other ingredients. I've been loving this with my rosacea skin, my cracked winter skin. You can see I'm kind of flaring up redness here and here today, but it is an exfoliating day. So I'll either leave my skin or I will use a PHA in the evening if it's calmed down a bit. But this really doesn't irritate my skin whatsoever. I really actually like this. Essences is something I use on a daily basis. MISSHA essence, but it's not something I consider a must-have for fading dark spots. In fact, it might have a little bit of niacinamide in, but I use essences really just for that kind of like anti-aging step, and they are also very good at keeping your skin hydrated, and I do feel like well-hydrated skin makes the skin look a lot lighter and brighter and helps kind of disguise that dark spot. But essences for dark spots, they're not like a must-have at all. They're just nice, they're nice to have. Serums is where I really get to work and where I really look for key ingredients because I feel they're more potent in a serum, especially in an ampoule. Of course, the ordinaries at niacinamide, 10% zinc something percent, 1% has worked incredibly for me, not just for dark spots, but for overall skin tone and redness. Niacinamide is one of those ingredients that doesn't play so nicely directly used with AHA, so either leave 30 minutes between use or use your niacinamide in the morning, and if you know you're exfoliating, don't use it in the evening. But I'll skip past this because I talk about it all the time. I have a whole video dedicated to niacinamide that you can check out. Here, somewhere there. One of my favorite current serums though that does include niacinamide is the Discolouration correcting serum from Good Molecules. I'm really liking Good Molecules at the moment. I've only tried a couple of their products and there will be a brand review probably next year when I've had a bit more time to try them out. So yes, this does have niacinamide in, but it also has tranexamic acid, which I feel like no one's talking about like at all. I don't think a lot of people know it's a thing. Tranexamic acid is known for its ability to help fade dark spots. In fact, discoloration of any kind, redness, and generally brighten the skin as well. It does this by inhibiting the production of melanocytes, basically inhibiting melanin production. So I've been using this twice a day, morning and night. It's absolutely fine for my sensitive skin as well. You've got hyaluronic acid in there, butylene glycol, glycerin. So it's nice and like moisturizing as well. I don't use this alongside AHA or BHA though, because it does tend to not irritate my skin, but my skin can get like a little bit sensitive from using all of that together. But of course it works perfectly with hyaluronic acid, retinol, and of course sunscreen as well. So what do I use on days when I am exfoliating but I want that extra punch of fadingness on my skin? Well, this is where arbutin comes in particular alpha arbutin, which is the stronger version of arbutin. Like every product in this video, arbutin helps fade discoloration and brighten the skin. Alpha arbutin actually works very, very well with AHAs and other chemical exfoliants like BHAs. I personally am still using my PHA just when my skin is sensitive, but I would have no issue when my skin's back to its full self using an AHA with alpha arbutin. It works very well with vitamin C as well. There's no known like clashes that you should be aware of. Obviously, of course, patch test every product you use, but this is really like, if you want to get one product to help with your pigmentation, I feel like alpha arbutin from The Ordinary is a good one to go for. The next product is another one I've been talking non-stop about, and that is azelaic acid, in particular the 10% azelaic acid booster from Paula's Choice. It's been a game changer, again inhibiting melanin production. I discovered this by accident because I'm using it for my rosacea, but I noticed it was fading my dark spot a lot quicker than anything else I've been using. Again, I won't talk about this too much, but this has licorice and salicylic acid in. It's like a moisturizing texture, so I do use it before a moisturizer after serums. It says it's a booster, so you're actually meant to mix it with products. I don't like doing that because I'm a bit kind of like, I want a good even spread, and I feel like mixing a product in with another product doesn't give you that kind of guaranteed even coverage, and I don't want to play chemist in my room, you know? So to ensure even coverage, I just use it like a moisturizer. If you have sensitive skin and you're a little bit scared of using all of this, I have sensitive skin and I'm fine with all of this, but if you just don't also have the time or the energy to do this, a lot of moisturizers, evening moisturizers, have a lot of these ingredients in, brightening ingredients that are gonna fade those dark spots. You can get exfoliating moisturizers, brightening moisturizers. I'll link some down below, ones that I've tried and tested and that I actually really, really like. But finally, as I mentioned earlier, sunscreen is a must. There's no point doing any of this, and I would say spending any money on any skincare if you're not gonna wear sunscreen. So whether you're treating your pigmentation at home or with a dermatologist, you have to wear sunscreen. They will tell you this. Everyone knows this. Obviously, the sun makes our skin darker, so it's gonna make your dark spots darker and make them even more difficult to treat. A lot of the comments I get is that I just don't like wearing sunscreen. Well, I bet you hate dark spots and skin cancer even more. Just put it on. And this is the thing, I think sunscreen is one thing, if you're gonna invest in anything, forget about all the £100 serums, fancy whatevers, sunscreen is the one thing to invest in. I know I'm an obsessive K-beauty and Japanese beauty fanatic, collector, but it's not just because they have fancy packaging and I like the culture, it's because they have the formulations of their sunscreen down. I feel like they've been doing sunscreen for the face a lot longer than we have. They just mastered it like no one else. They have sunscreens that literally feel like water on the skin or your lightest moisturizer on the skin. They do have sunscreens that are very, very heavy, but they honestly do have a sunscreen for every skin type. No matter how oily you are, how dry you are, they will have something for you. Broad spectrum, they're all broad spectrum. There is something that's going to fit nicely on your skin. This is a current favorite of mine. This is INNISFREE, the minimum sun cream. It's only SPF 25 PA2 pluses. This is for sensitive skin. It's got minimal ingredients and it's really, really good for when you have a damaged skin barrier, which I have at the moment. I wear an SPF 25 when I'm inside. When I'm outside, I wear stronger. This is what I have on my skin at the moment. It gives a nice glow. It's not greasy. Like there's nothing coming off. It doesn't smell like sunscreen. I will link loads of my favorite sunscreens down below. You can even check out the video where I'm talking through like sunscreen haul. There are so many, and I just, please invest. If you're going to invest in anything, invest in the sunscreen. So yeah, I hope this helps. As I mentioned, do your own research, find out what works for you, but these ingredients that have really worked for me and are known for helping to fade dark spots, I really feel that like until your skin is fully healed and you are left with that dark spot, I personally don't use anything active on that inflamed or damaged skin. I just do my very basic routine, wait for it to heal up. I don't use any drying spot treatments because they tend to make it worse. I just let it heal and then I get on with healing my skin. That's what I personally do. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with how much it's faded within like two and a bit weeks. I don't know, 2 and a bit weeks. So yeah, it did take a while for the dark spot to fully heal, but as I mentioned, patience, don't let it stress you out. I know they're not nice to look at. I also don't think they're horrible to look at. Like, no one's really noticed on camera. But yeah, just remember, they're not a part of you and they're gonna go. But whilst it's there, nurture it, take extra care of your skin. Why don't you share your tips as well for what you do with your dark spot down below? If anybody says they use lemon on their skin, I will block you and delete you from the internet. But that is it from me now, guys. I will see you next time.